What's up, everyone? Tara Roberts here with Win Daily, and we are talking NFL player props for Underdog for week 16. I've got another 10 props for you this week. Before I dive in, be sure to like the video as always, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, make sure that you check out the description below for a link to sign up to play on Underdog. 100% deposit match up to $500. Now let's go ahead and talk props. I'm very much so into this Lions versus the Vikings game. It has one of the highest point totals of the weekend, and I think people might be underestimating the potential for offense in this matchup. I am not entirely sure how much I trust Nick Mullins in this matchup. His passing yards line is actually higher than Jared Goff's. Wild, but true. Goff's passing yards are set at 258.5. We are taking the over on that. Goff in a dome or warm weather just typically yields good results. Goff is coming off a great game with 5 touchdowns, and while yardage wasn't incredible, 278, you do have to consider that Denver's defense has been considered one of the best, if not the best, against the pass all season long. Minnesota's defense has been tough, but they are not impenetrable. 258 is a very reasonable ask. We also want to correlate that with two players. Amon-Ra St. Brown at over 78.5 receiving yards. He typically hits that number with ease in good matchups where there is good weather and good domes, so we want to take the over there. And we also want the over on Jahmyr Gibbs at 21.5 receiving yards. Minnesota has been very stout against the run, but they have been vulnerable to giving up receiving yards to opposing backs. This is a game where Gibbs can thrive. When looking at Minnesota, I said I was scared of relying on Nick Mullins, but I do like Justin Jefferson this week. Jefferson returned to full capacity last week with 7 receptions for 84 yards. It was Jordan Addison that had the massive game, but I expect that to flip this week. Jefferson to hit the over at 83.5 receiving yards. I also like Ty Chandler, but we don't have any Lions on him yet, so unfortunately I can't give you anything for Ty Chandler. Another game that I want to pull props from is the Washington-New York game. It might seem counterintuitive to take overs on a game that could be an absolute dumpster fire, but there are 2 specific lines that I just feel are too low for these players. Curtis Samuel is someone that has been one of the more reliable pass catchers in Washington. If you remove games where he was injured and played less than 20% of snaps, those games, there is a very, very slim difference between Terry McLaurin's stats and Curtis Samuel's stats this season. Curtis Samuel has been reliable, and Terry McLaurin is going to see the tougher coverage in this matchup, leaving Samuel as a nice safety blanket for Sam Howell. We want to take the over on his receiving yards at 34.5. We also want to look at Breece Hall. This is an excellent matchup for Hall, but it is tough to lean into his rushing yards because he has struggled all season long with rushing yards with the Jets' offensive line issues, but his receiving yards is just a mere 26.5. I like the over on that. Let's also look at the Seattle Seahawks. Geno Smith has been inconsistent this season, but he has been able to take advantage of good matchups, and I don't have fear of this injury. Geno practiced in full this week. He was cleared very early. He is good to go. Take advantage of this line being set at 238.5 passing yards and take the over on it. Philadelphia has struggled to stop the pass all season long, and it will continue this week. And while you're at it, pair Geno up with the over on DK Metcalf's receiving yards at 61.5. And let's wrap things up with a couple of unders. If Jordan Love has a strong performance this week, more power to him. I would be thrilled. But I truly don't think that it's going to happen. And if it does, I think that it's going to be via running. The Panthers' pass defense is one of the most legitimately difficult matchups there has been in 2023. 222.5 passing yards might seem like a reasonable ask for Jordan Love. No, we're taking the under on it. And then finally, one more player I've got serious concerns for, Javonte Williams, in this matchup against the New England Patriots. Running backs have been fine against the Patriots in terms of fantasy production, but that is because they can get production through the air. But on the ground, it has been an absolute no-go unless you are seeing heavy volume on the ground. 55.5 rushing yards is aggressive in this match, I think. And I don't think that he gets the carries to really push him through this. Take the under. Well, that wraps things up. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, remember to sign up to play on Underdog today. The link is below in the description. 100% deposit match up to $500.